One time I was in this transitional period where things just weren't going the way I wanted them to go. I didn't really want to talk to anyone about it, but I still wanted support, but it was hard for me to tell anybody what I was going through because they have never experienced anything like this. So it was just really difficult. And I felt that I was all alone. I felt really bad. And I remember saying to myself, saying out loud, I don't know if I was thinking this or saying it out loud, but I remember saying, I just want someone to talk to. I just want someone to talk to. Can I just have someone to talk to? And I remember saying that and really upset, crying because it just felt like so much. And not that I wanted to burden somebody with my problems that I was going through, but I just felt like I needed something. I needed to talk to someone, to just get it out, to have a conversation about whatever, anything. It didn't have to be about what I was going through, but I just wanted someone to talk to. So at the time I was working at this job that was, I believe they call it like third shift. I think it's third shift. I got out really early. So at this point, I would go to a diner and I would take my computer, I'd take like some work, and I'd, just keep myself busy while I was eating, and then I would have to go somewhere and I had like errands to run, so I would be like really early, like getting these errands done. So after I had that breaking point where I was just, I want someone to talk to, and I was doing the diner thing like at least once a week. I would go to the diner and that would be my process. So I was at the diner minding my own business. It was not a lot of people because, like I said, this was like 5 o'clock in the morning, maybe probably even earlier than that, maybe 4. It was between, I definitely know it was between like 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning. And there weren't a lot of people there. Maybe some truckers and like some random people were there. And I was sitting in a section kind of all by myself, which I didn't mind. And I was sitting at a booth. There were 2 booths in front of me and I believe 2 in back of me. And this guy walked in. Out of all the places in the restaurant, because there were a lot of places on that side of the restaurant that he could have sat. He could have even sat at the, at the counter. I think the woman sat him. She told me that I could pick any table, I believe. But I think she sat him at the booth right in front of me. He came in, he sat down, and I'm looking at his back. And then 10 to 15 minutes after him being there, he switches spots and he sits on the other side. So now we're facing each other, and I'm like, oh gosh, like what is this? Like, because I'm like, okay, please don't talk to me. And I'm like in my books, I'm in my computer and all that stuff, and my food has come and stuff like that, and I'm trying to be super intense and intently in my work just so he wouldn't talk to me. And he started talking to me, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm annoyed because I gave you all the clues, dude, that I did not want to talk to anyone. I didn't even look in your direction. I'm looking at my work and I'm eating. I did not give you a sign to like spark up a conversation. But I'm not rude like that. All that is going on in my head. So we started talking, and I think he started the conversation with something pretty bold, like, what are you reading, or what are you writing, or something like that, or something that could have been, if I was anyone else, could have been like a problem. But I'm cautious because I come from Jersey, and what do you want? Who sent you? But anyway, so we're talking a lot, and then I'm getting to know him, and it was just really cool. And then after a while, it just felt super comfortable, and we were talking and laughing. And mind you, all of this is going on. I'm still in my spot in the booth and he's still sitting in his booth, but we're just facing each other talking. And we're laughing, and it turns out that we have, you know, a few things in common. And he was just driving through, you know, he was from, I believe, the East Coast. I'm not sure where right now, but I just remember having this long conversation that lasted for hours. We must have talked for, I want to say, about 3 hours. And mind you, this is like a total stranger. And finally, he was just like, well, I have to get going. You know, it was like a pleasure to meet you and da-da-da-da and stuff like that. And he came over, shook my hand, and then he went on about his business. And then I was just like thinking to myself as he's leaving, I'm like, what was this? And then I just watched him as he left, because in my head I'm watching him because I'm like, if he disappears, I'm gonna freak out. I just remember that if he disappears, I'm gonna freak out, like as if he's like a ghost or whatever the case may be. So I watched him leave and he drove out. We didn't exchange like social medias, numbers, nothing. It was like a conversation. It felt like I knew him for a long time, or I grew up with him. The way we were interacting with each other, it was comforting and it was fun, and it was just an amazing experience. I told this to someone, one of my friends, about like what happened, and then she's just like, that was God answering you. You said you needed someone to talk to, someone, you know, and basically telling me back what I had told her. And I was just like, whoa. I was like, I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of it being more than what it was. It was just a strange thing that happened. But then again, I don't believe in coincidences. So I do believe that it was a divine interaction. I'm not saying that he was an angel or anything. Like I said, I watched him. I watched him leave. So I don't think he was an angel or anything, but I do believe that God works through people. He sends people into your life for whatever reason and for whatever season. And I think because I was crying out that I just wanted someone to talk to, and it was a welcoming experience. And I remember feeling like really great and ready to take on my day and do the things that I had already planned. But it was just that interaction. This happened 9 years ago, and every now and again I still tell people about this story because the way it happened, I believe, was divinely orchestrated. And I'm telling you this because I think that it just shows that God does answer you, and it may come in a package that you are not expecting it to. So I think that is it for this video. One other thing is ask God for what you want, especially if it comes down to being able to just talk to someone. Ask God for that. I'm about to get emotional and I don't want to. It's just a testament to how much that interaction meant to me by the fact that I'm still talking about it 9 years after it happened. So again, ask God for what you want and just kind of be aware of different ways that it may come, your answer may come to you. So anyway, I would love to read your comments about any kind of like divine interactions that you've had with people, or the ways that you have experienced any kind of miracle or anything that answered one of your cries. I would love to read them. So that is it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video has been posted, and I'll see you soon.